Hello students, I am Dr. Sangeeta Sharma, your science teacher. Today we will be continuing with chapter 10 of your science book, that is light, reflection and refraction. In today's video, that is part 7, refraction of light, we will understand and study about spherical lenses. So students, let's understand what a spherical lens is. A spherical lens is basically a transparent material bounded by two surfaces of which one or both the surfaces are spherical. So students, एक spherical lens जो है वो एक transparent material से बना हुआ होता है जिसकी दो surfaces होती हैं जिनमें से कम एक surface जो है वो spherical होनी चाहिए. So we have two types of lenses. The first type of lens is a convex lens, which is also known as a converging lens, and the second type of lens is a concave lens, which is also known as a diverging lens. So let's understand these two type of spherical lenses. So to begin with, we will start with the first type of lens, which is basically a convex lens, which is also known as a converging lens. Such a lens is thick at the center and thin at the edges. Now here what we see students is that a convex lens is shown having two surfaces P and Q. Now what we see here is that this lens is thick at the center. Center में से मोटा है और edges पर से पतला है. So this is what is written is that such a lens is thick at the center and thin at the edges. The two surfaces P and Q binding the lens are convex. That is, they are bulging outwards. So what we see students here is that these two surfaces P and Q both are convex. That is, they are curved outwards, or what we can say is that they are bulging out, having their own center of curvature and own radius of curvature. Now let's understand this. Since these two surfaces P and Q both are spherical, and what we know is that these spherical portions are basically a part of a hollow sphere. So we learn this here. Say this is P. Now this P is part of a hollow sphere having its center of curvature say at C. So this P portion is a part of this hollow sphere whose center of curvature is given by C. So the radius of curvature will be from C to this boundary. Then we have another surface which is again convex and it is denoted by Q. Now this Q is again a part of a hollow sphere, and this Q again has one center of curvature. Now we can name these center of curvatures. Let the center of curvature for P be denoted by C2 and the center of curvature for Q be denoted by C1. Now the radius of curvature will be from C1 to this portion Q. So what we see is that P is having its center of curvature at C2 and Q is having its center of curvature at C1. So what we see is that these two surfaces have their own center of curvature and their own radius of curvature. Now why is a convex lens called a converging lens? A convex lens is called a converging lens because it converges the rays of light falling on it. Now here what we see students is that Mn is taken as a convex lens, and the rays of light coming parallel to the principal axis after refraction from the lens converges at F, and here F is the focus, and what we see is that a converging action of a convex lens in this picture, that all the rays which are incident on the lens Mn gets converged at a point F. That is why a convex lens is called a converging lens. ये लेंस क्या करता है, उसके ऊपर जो भी रेज ऑफ लाइट इंसिडेंट होती हैं जो कि पैरेलल आ रही हैं प्रिंसिपल एक्सिस के, उनको एक पॉइंट के ऊपर कन्वर्ज कर देता है. So such lenses are known as converging lenses. Now let's understand the second type of lens, which is a concave lens, or which is known as a diverging lens. Now see here that we have shown a concave lens. Such a lens is thick at the edges and thin at the center. Now students, यहाँ पर हम क्या देख रहे हैं, ये एक कॉन्केव लेंस है जिसकी दो सरफेसेस हैं P डैश और Q डैश, और दोनों ही सरफेसेस जो हैं वो कॉन्केव है नेचर में, और सेंटर में से ये जो लेंस है ये पतला है, और एजेस पे से ये लेंस जो है वो थिक है यानी कि मोटा है. The two surfaces P dash and Q dash binding the lens are concave, that is bulging in. P dash और Q dash ये दोनों जो surfaces हैं ये concave हैं, यानी कि ये अंदर की तरफ जो है वो bend है. So this can be called as bulging in, having their own center of curvature and radius of curvature. So P dash, Q dash, these two surfaces which are concave in shape. Now these two surfaces also are a part of some hollow sphere. So let's see this. We have, say, this surface which is denoted by P dash. Now P dash is a part of a hollow sphere having a center at, say, C1. So P dash is part of this hollow sphere having center at C1. So C1 will be the center of curvature for this surface P dash, and radius of curvature will be the line joining C1 to the surface P dash. Now the next surface, which is Q dash. Now this Q dash is again part of a hollow sphere having its center at, say, C2. So C1 is the center of curvature for P dash and C2 is the center of curvature of Q dash. Now the radius of curvature for Q dash will be the line joining C2 to the surface Q dash. So what we see here, students, is that P dash, Q dash, which are both concave in shape, are part of hollow spheres having their own radii of curvature and own center of curvatures. Now students, a concave lens is called a diverging lens because it diverges the rays of light falling on it. So what we see here is that all the rays of light which are incident on the concave lens, here this is the concave lens, and all the light which are falling, which are incident on this concave lens, which are coming parallel to the principal axis, after refraction move in these directions, and what we see is that all these refracted rays are diverging. So such type of lenses are called as diverging lenses. So diverging action of a concave lens is shown in this figure, and what we see is that the refracted rays appear to come from a point F, which is known as the principal focus. Now let's learn some definitions related to lenses which are almost similar to the definitions which we have seen in case of mirrors. So some important terms. The first term is the aperture. Now here the diameter of the circular edge of the lens is called the aperture of the lens. Diameter of the circular edge of the lens is known as aperture. Now for a convex lens having two surfaces P and Q which are convex in nature, that is they are bulging outwards, what we see is that the diameter which I have shown by a black line, this is known as the aperture for a convex lens. Here again what we see is this is a concave lens having two surfaces P dash and Q dash, and what we see is that this is the aperture for the case of concave lens. So the diameter of the circular edge of the lens is known as aperture. Next is center of curvature, which we have already learned. The center of curvature of a lens is defined as the center of the spherical surface from which the lens has been cut. So what we saw was, we saw this for concave lens also and convex lens also. that the center of curvatures were the centers of the holospheres of which the concave or the convex part or the surface was a part. Right students? Now here again what we see is C1 and C2. So C1 is say the center of the sphere of which this surface is a part, and for this surface again we have a hollow sphere having a center at C2. So what we see is C1 is the center for the hollow sphere of which this surface is a part, and C2 is the center of curvature of this part. Right? So next we have the principal axis, which is an imaginary straight line passing through the two centers of curvature of the two spherical surfaces of the lens, and it is known as principal axis of the lens. Here we have seen this, that C1 and C2, this is a convex lens, and what we see is C1 and C2 both are the center of curvatures of the two surfaces by which a lens is formed, and the line joining C1 and C2 is known as the principal axis. And now here in this case, which is a concave lens, C1 center of curvature of this surface which is a part of this hollow sphere, and for this portion which is again a part of a hollow sphere, C2 is the center of curvature, and the line joining C1 and C2 is known as the principal axis. Now the optical center O. Now what we see is that here we have the optical center shown by capital O. What it is? It is a point on the principal axis of the lens such that a ray of light passing through it goes undeviated. Now students, what we see is here in the case of convex lens, we have this point O which is known as the optical center. Basically this is the center of the convex lens, and any ray of light which is incident on this optical center after refraction will go straight, undeviated. That is, this point is a point on the principal axis, and it is so as that any light incident towards this optical center will go straight from the lens undeviated. Now students, here what we see is that this is the case for thin lenses. Okay. Now here also what we see is that O is the optical center for this concave lens, and what we see is that any ray of light which is incident on this point O will go straight undeviated. So optical center is the point on the principal axis of the lens such that a ray of light passing through it goes undeviated, सीधी निकल जाएगी, यानी कि जो भी इंसिडेंट रे ऑफ लाइट ओ से पास होगी वो स्ट्रेट निकल जाएगी, उसमें कोई भी बेंड नहीं आएगा रिफ्रैक्शन के बाद लेंस से. नेक्स्ट इज द फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल फोकस विच इज डिनोटेड बाय F1. Now let's understand what this principal focus, what this first principal focus is. The position of a point on the principal axis of a lens so that the rays of light starting from this point after passing through the lens becomes parallel or appear to travel parallel to the principal axis is called the first principal focus. Now students, here what is being said is that the first principal focus is the point through which when the light rays are incident on the lens, let it be a convex lens or a concave lens, then the rays of light after refraction will come out पैरेलल टू द प्रिंसिपल एक्सिस. यानी यहाँ पर क्या मतलब हुआ स्टूडेंट्स इस बात का कि अगर हमारे पास में सपोज कीजिए ये एक कॉन्वेक्स लेंस है और इस पॉइंट को हमने प्रिंसिपल फोकस, फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल फोकस कहा, तो फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल फोकस से आने वाली रेज ऑफ लाइट जब लेंस से रिफ्रैक्ट होंगी तो वो प्रिंसिपल एक्सिस के पैरेलल ही बाहर आएंगी. दिस इज व्हाट इज सेड that it is the point on the principal axis of a lens so that the rays of light starting from this point, इस point से start होने वाली rays of light आफ्टर पासिंग थ्रू द लेंस, यानी रिफ्रैक्शन के बाद, becomes parallel to the principal axis. It becomes parallel to the principal axis. Now here in the case of a concave lens, again the same definition is applicable. What we see is that the rays of light which are incident towards this principal focus after refraction through the lens comes out parallel to the principal axis. Now here what we see is that this principal focus, the first principal focus in case of a concave lens, is the point on the principal axis of the lens, so that the rays of light starting from this point after passing through the lens become parallel or appear to travel parallel to the principal axis. So these are known as the first principal focus. Now the second principal focus. The position of a point on the principal axis of a lens where a beam of light parallel to the principal axis meets or appears to meet after passing through the lens is called the second principal focus. Now here students, we will understand this again for both the type of lenses. What we have said is that the second principal focus is a point on the principal axis where the light rays which are incident parallel to the principal axis, वो light rays जो कि principal axis के पैरेलल लेंस के ऊपर इंसिडेंट होती हैं, रिफ्रैक्शन के बाद इस पॉइंट पर आकर मीट करती हैं, उस पॉइंट को हम क्या कहते हैं? प्रिंसिपल फोकस F2, that is the second principal focus. Now let's understand this for the case of concave lens. Now what we see is that the rays of light which are incident parallel to the principal axis, that is they are coming parallel to the principal axis and are incident on the concave lens, after refraction they appear to come from this focus which is known as the second principal focus. So they actually meet at F2 or they appear to meet at F2 in the case of convex lens and concave lens respectively. So this is known as the second principal focus. Now the focal length F, the distance between the optical center of the lens and the principal focus, first or second of the lens, is called the focal length of the lens. Now this we can see in the case of a convex lens. If we have the two focus, say this is F1, this is F2, then the distance between the optical center and the first focus or distance between the optical center and the second focus is known as the focal length, which is denoted by small f. Here again, for the case of a concave lens, we can again have two focus F1 and F2 and the distance between the optical center. So the distance between the first focus point or the second focus point and the optical center is known as the focal length. So these were the definitions. Now we will learn the image formation by a convex lens. Now as we know that for image formation we need at least two rays of light, and we have seen the behavior of rays of light. Let's recall and revise the behavior of the rays of light falling on a concave lens or a convex lens. To begin with, we will see the behavior for convex lenses. So what we saw was that the first type of ray, that is any ray which passes through the optical center, will go straight. So we can have the first type of ray as the ray passing through the optical center. So the ray of light which will be incident towards the optical center will go straight. So we can take this as the first type of ray. So what we see is that after refraction, this ray of light goes straight, that is it passes through the lens undeviated. Second, what we saw was that any ray of light which comes or which is incident parallel to the convex lens gets converged at the focus point. So we can take parallel rays as the second type of rays, and what we see is that the rays coming parallel to the principal axis, that all the rays which are incident parallel to the principal axis, after refraction through the convex lens, they meet at the focus. So we can take the second type of lenses as, we can take the second type of rays as the rays which are coming parallel to the principal axis. Now in order to take the third type of rays, we can take the rays which are coming from the focus, and as we know that the rays which are incident coming from the focus, say F1, after refraction will move out parallel to the principal axis. This we have seen that all the rays of light which will be starting from the focus point, say F1, after refraction through the convex lens will come out parallel to the principal axis. So here we have seen the three type of rays, and as we know that we must have at least two types of rays and they must intersect at some point for image formation. Now students, let's see how the image formation takes place in case of a convex lens. Now we have a convex lens, and students, as we know that in case of a convex lens we have certain points on the principal axis, and depending upon these points we can have 6 positions where the object can be placed. So what are the points on the principal axis? We have O as the optical center, which is the center of the convex lens. Then we have the first focus point denoted by F1. Then we have the center of curvature. So the center of curvature which can be denoted by C1. So in some books you will find the center of curvature denoted by C1, or you can have the center of curvature denoted by 2F1. So what we see is that we have basically 3 points on the left hand side of a convex lens. Now depending upon the position of the object, we can have different positions of the images. So what we see is the fourth point which we can take is infinity. So there can be 6 positions of the object in front of the convex lens. What can be the 6 positions? The object can be placed at infinity or between infinity and C1, then it can be at C1, then it can be placed between C1 and F1, then it can be placed on F1, or it can be placed between F1 and O. So let's start with the first position, which is when the object is at infinity. Now the object is at infinity, the object is too far. So what we have is that all the incident rays coming from the object will be parallel to the principal axis. So we can take 2 rays. Let this be the first ray and this be the second ray. Now as we know that the ray which is coming or which is incident on the lens, which is coming parallel to the principal axis, after refraction will go through F2. Similarly, the second ray of light which is incident parallel to the principal axis, after refraction through the lens will again go from F2. So what we see is that these two refracted rays after refraction meet at F2. So here the image will be formed, because we know that for image formation we must have at least 2 refracted rays, and the point at which they meet, there the image will be formed. So students, हमने यहाँ पर क्या देखा कि ऑब्जेक्ट जो है वो इन्फिनिटी पर रखा हुआ है, और इन्फिनिटी से जितनी भी रेज इंसिडेंट होती हैं वो प्रिंसिपल एक्सिस के पैरेलल आती हैं, और रिफ्रैक्शन के बाद में F2 पॉइंट पे कन्वर्ज होती हैं, मीट होती हैं। इसलिए हमारे को जो फर्स्ट इमेज जो है वो कहाँ मिलेगी? वो हमें मिलेगी प्रिंसिपल फोकस F2 पर। सो द रेज कम parallel to the principal axis and after refraction from the lens actually meet at the second principal focus, the image is formed at f2. Now since students, these refracted rays are actually meeting, they are actually meeting, so the image formed is real and it is point size. Now students, we know that all the images which are real are always inverted. So we'll have a inverted image. So real, point sized and inverted image when the object is placed at infinity. So let's see the second position of the object. Now suppose the object AB is placed beyond 2f1, or we can say between infinity and 2f1, and students, mind this, that here I have shown 2f1, you can take it as C1 also, which is the center of curvature. So when the position of the object AB is beyond 2f1 or C1, let's see how the image is formed. Now for image formation we must again have two rays, at least two rays. So let this be my first ray and this be the second ray. I have taken the first ray coming parallel to the principal axis, and as we know, all the rays which are going to come parallel to the principal axis after refraction will pass through the second principal focus. So this ray of light after refraction passes through the second principal focus. Now the second ray of light, I have taken the light ray which is incident through the optical center, which is passing through the optical center. So as we know that any ray of light which is incident on the optical center goes undeviated, that is, it does not deviate from its original path, it goes straight. So what we see is that the second ray of light passes straight and they meet at this point. So after refraction the rays of light are meeting at B dash, so we will have a image formed here, and so we will have a image A dash B dash. Now what we see students here is that the image is formed between F2 and 2F2. 2F2 again can be written as C2. In some books you can have C1 and C2, in some books you can have 2F1 and 2F2. तो यहाँ पर स्टूडेंट्स हमने क्या देखा कि अगर हमारा ऑब्जेक्ट जो है वो 2f1 और इन्फिनिटी के बीच में कहीं हो, तो हमारा ऑब्जेक्ट AB जो है वो इन्फिनिटी और 2f1 के बीच में है, तो जो रे ऑफ लाइट पैरेलल आ रही है वो सेकेंड प्रिंसिपल फोकस से निकलेगी और जो रे ऑफ लाइट ऑप्टिकल सेंटर से निकलेगी वो स्ट्रेट चली जाएगी अनडेविएटेड, और ये दोनों रेज ऑफ लाइट जो हैं वो यहाँ पर मीट कर रही हैं, तो यहाँ पर हमें इमेज मिलेगी A dash B dash. Now students, what we see here is that the rays of light after refraction are meeting actually. They are meeting actually. So what we will have is, we will have a real image, and as we know all real images are always inverted, and here again we see that the object was having its head upwards, it was upright, but here what we see is that the image is inverted, that is its head has turned downwards. So in this case we will have a real and inverted image, and the size of the image is again small as compared to the size of the object. So let's see, when the object at a distance more than twice the focal length, when the object is placed at a distance more than twice the focal length, the object AB has its image A dash B dash formed between the distance F and 2F. The image is real, inverted and diminished in size. So this is how the image is formed when the object is placed beyond C1, or we can say beyond 2F1, or we can say between infinity and 2F1. Now let's see the third position when the object is placed at 2F1, or we can say C1. Now here the object is placed at 2F1. AB is the object and it is placed at 2F1, or we can say C1. So again we will take two rays which are incident, and let this be my first ray and this be the second ray. So what we see is that the first ray of light is coming parallel to the principal axis, and as we know that all the rays of light coming parallel to the principal axis after refraction will go through the second principal focus. So this ray of light will move through the second principal focus F2. The second ray of light which I have taken incident towards the optical center, and as we know that the ray of light which is incident on the optical center will move undeviated, that is it will go straight through the lens. So this ray of light moves undeviated, and what we see is that here the image will be formed because these two refracted rays are meeting at that point, and there we will have a image formed A dash B dash. Now again students, since the refracted rays are meeting actually, so we will have a real image. All real images are inverted, and here we have the same size of image formed, that is the size of the image is equal to the size of the object. So let's see. When the object is at a distance twice the focal length, that is the object is placed at 2f1 or you can say C1. The object AB has its image A dash B dash formed at distance 2f. The image is real, inverted and has the same size as the object. तो यहाँ पर स्टूडेंट्स हमने इमेज फॉर्मेशन देखी जब ऑब्जेक्ट 2f1 पर रखा हुआ है या हम कह सकते हैं C1 पर रखा हुआ है। तो दो रेज ऑफ लाइट देखी, एक रे ऑफ लाइट जो कि पैरेलल आ रही है और वो प्रिंसिपल फोकस से निकलेगी, जो ऑप्टिकल सेंटर से पास होगी वो स्ट्रेट चली जाएगी अनडेविएटेड, और वो A डैश B डैश जो है वो उस पॉइंट पे मिल रही है, यानी कि वो 2f2 के जस्ट नीचे मिल रही है। तो यहाँ पर हमारी इमेज फॉर्मेशन होगी। तो हमने क्या देखा, ऑब्जेक्ट अगर 2f1 पर है तो इमेज जो है वो 2f2 पर बन रही है। और इमेज कैसी बन रही है, एक्चुअली रिफ्रैक्टेड रेज मीट कर रही हैं इसलिए रियल बन रही है। रियल इमेजेस हमेशा इन्वर्टेड होती हैं और यहाँ पर साइज सेम है। So let's see the fourth position when the object is placed between 2f1 and f1. Now here what we see is that the object AB is between 2f1 or you can say C1 and f1. So here again we will take two rays of light, and I have taken two rays. The first ray which is coming parallel to the principal axis after refraction will pass through the second principal focus, and the ray of light which is incident to the optical center will pass undeviated, that is the ray of light passing through the optical center will go straight after refraction. And what we see is that they are meeting actually at this point. So here we will have the image formed A dash B dash. What we see here is that the image is formed beyond 2f2 और you can say beyond C2. तो यहाँ पर हमने क्या देखा स्टूडेंट्स, यहाँ पर हमने देखा कि अगर ऑब्जेक्ट की पोजीशन 2f1 और f1 के बीच में कहीं हो तो ऑब्जेक्ट से अगर हम दो रेज ऑफ लाइट इंसिडेंट माने, फर्स्ट रे ऑफ लाइट अगर प्रिंसिपल एक्सिस के पैरेलल देखें तो वो सेकेंड प्रिंसिपल फोकस से निकलेगी, और जो रे ऑफ लाइट ऑप्टिकल सेंटर की तरफ इंसिडेंट होगी वो स्ट्रेट चली जाएगी अनडेविएटेड। तो दोनों रेज ऑफ लाइट जहां पर मीट करेंगी वहां पर हमें इमेज मिलेगी जिसको कि हमने A डैश B डैश से डिनोट किया है। अब सिंस these two refracted rays are meeting actually, so we will have a real image formed. Real images are inverted, and here what we see is that the size is increased, that the image is enlarged. So object at a distance more than the focal length and less than twice the focal length. It is more than the focal length and less than twice the focal length. The object AB has its image A dash B dash formed beyond distance 2f. 2f distance के beyond image formation होती है. The image is real, inverted and enlarged. So let's see the fifth position. Now here students, the object is placed at the first principal focus. Again we will see how the image is formed, and for image formation we will again take two types of rays. So the first ray, which is coming parallel to the principal axis, after refraction will pass through the second principal focus, and the ray of light which is moving towards the optical center will go undeviated, that is it will move in a straight line after refraction. So what we see here is that the two refracted rays are parallel, so they are never going to meet. So what we will have is that we can imagine them meeting at infinity, so the image will be formed at infinity. So these are the parallel rays to infinity, so the image is formed at infinity. So what we will have is that the image is real, inverted and highly magnified. So यहाँ पर हमने क्या देखा स्टूडेंट्स कि अगर ऑब्जेक्ट की पोजीशन जो है वो फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल फोकस पर है तो रिफ्रैक्टेड रेज जो हैं वो पैरेलल बाहर आएंगी, और पैरेलल आने वाली रेज जो हैं वो इन्फिनिटी पे मीट करेंगी, तो हमारी जो इमेज फॉर्मेशन है वो infinity पर होगी. Now the sixth position is when the object is placed between F1 and O, that is the first principal focus and the optical center. Now again we will see how the image is formed. We will again take two rays of light. Now this is, say, the first ray of light. It is incident parallel to the principal axis, so it will move through the second principal focus, and the ray of light which will pass through the optical center will move undeviated after refraction through the convex lens. Now what we see students here is that these two refracted rays are basically diverging, that is they are never going to meet here. So what we see is that when they are extended in front of the lens, they meet at this point, so the image will be formed in front of the lens. So here we will have the image as A dash B dash, and what we see is that the image is formed beyond 2f1, that is you can say beyond 2f1 or c1 or between infinity and 2f1. Now students, here the rays of light after refraction are not meeting actually, and they are meeting only when the light rays are extended in front of the lens. Now since they are not meeting actually, the image is virtual, and all virtual images are always erect, and here you can see that the object is upright and the image is again upright, that is having its head upwards. So the virtual image will be formed, it will be erect, and here we can see that the image is enlarged. तो यहाँ पर हमने क्या देखा स्टूडेंट्स, यहाँ पर हमने देखा कि अगर ऑब्जेक्ट की पोजीशन फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल फोकस और ऑब्जेक्ट के ऑप्टिकल सेंटर के बीच में हो, तो उस केस के अंदर इमेज जो है वो लेंस के बिहाइंड नहीं बन रही है, क्योंकि रिफ्रैक्टेड रेज जो हैं वो वहां पर मीट नहीं कर रही हैं, और रिफ्रैक्टेड रेज कहां पर मीट कर रही हैं, वो लेंस के फ्रंट में ही मीट कर रही हैं. तो यहां पर हमें इमेज मिल रही है, और इमेज रियल है या वर्चुअल, इमेज वर्चुअल है, बिकॉज here the rays after refraction are not meeting actually, they are meeting virtually. So we will have a virtual, erect and enlarged image. So when the object is between focus and optical center, the object AB has its image A dash B dash formed in front of the lens. The image is virtual, erect and enlarged. So students, let's summarize all these 6 positions in a table. So this is basically the summary of the image formation by convex lenses, where we will give the position of the object, then the position of the image, the relative size of the image and nature of the image. So what we see is when the object is placed at infinity, which we took as the first position, the image is formed at focus f2, it is highly diminished, point size, it is real and inverted. the second position of the object can be taken as beyond 2f1, or you can say beyond c1, or you can say between infinity and 2f1. So what we saw was that the position of the image was between f2 and 2f2, and the size of the image was diminished, it was real and inverted. The third position of the object was taken as at 2f1, or you can say at c1. Then the position of the image was at 2f2, you can say at c2. It was of the same size, again it was real and inverted. Then the fourth position of the object was between f1 and 2f1, and what we saw was that the image was formed beyond 2f2, or you can say c2. The image was enlarged, again it was real and inverted. Then the fifth position was when the object was kept at f1. Then the image was formed at infinity, and the image was infinitely large or highly enlarged. Again the image was real and inverted. Then the sixth position. The sixth position, when the object was placed between the focus f1 and the optical center O. Now here the position of the image was on the same side of the lens, that is in front of the lens as the object was placed, where the object was placed, and we saw that the size of the image was enlarged and the nature of the image was virtual and erect. So what we see here, students, is that for the first 5 positions we are getting a real and inverted image, and for the 6th position we are getting a virtual and erect image. So students, today we learnt about what spherical lenses are, what are the types of spherical lenses, that is concave lenses and convex lenses. Then we learnt why are they known as converging or diverging lens. Then we learnt how images are formed in case of convex lenses. In our next video, we will learn how image is formed in case of concave lenses. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye.